Hi guys!
Hi guys!
So welcome to a Reddit storytime episode of On to Nothing. We're doing updates only, so stories that have updates only.
Oh.
And the title of the first story is, Am I the asshole for not wanting a relationship with my parents now that they've cut me off? I'm a student. My parents make enough money that when I went through student finance to get my maintenance loan, I was told I could only get the minimum just over $3,000 a year because finance is calculated from what your parents earn, and there's an assumption that your parents will help you out. I'm on a high intensity course and I wasn't sure how I'd be able to balance studying and schooling. So when I found out I was going to get the minimum, I told my parents I wanted to either take the coming year to save up and then go to my first choice university a year later than planned, or go to my second choice now because I wouldn't be able to afford to live in the city my first choice is in. My parents then said they would pay my rent if I went to my first choice on schedule. They set me up in a studio flat, so all I had to do was get a part-time job to cover the cost of food and bills. On 18th of February, my 20th birthday, they called me and said that I was relying on them too much and needed to find out what the real world was like by earning my own money. So they would cover my rent and phone for that month, so until the end of February, and after that, I was on my own. And then they said they were still my parents and they still loved me and wanted me to stay in touch, just learn some independence while doing this. I begged them to reconsider, but they ended the call, so I had 11 days notice that I would have no flat or phone. I begged my uni for emergency housing, but they said that I had no proof I'd been cut off, so they couldn't do anything. I emailed my parents asking them to write a letter stating they'd cut me off so I could sort my student finance and emergency housing. They said no. I asked work if I could take on more hours and was told that due to my contract, I can't do any more than I'm already doing, so I'm now looking for a second job. I'm sleeping on a friend's sofa until a place I can afford opens up. As I still don't have proof I've been cut off for student finance, I will probably have to drop out this summer. I got a Facebook message from them today telling me they were disappointed I didn't call on my mom's birthday a couple days ago and that I've not given them my new phone number yet. I responded telling them the position I'm currently in and that I no longer want a relationship with them. I've gotten a bunch of messages from them and my brother's asking me to reconsider. My friend says I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel incredibly guilty and like a spoiled brat because I don't love my family for their money. I love them because they're my family, but at the same time, they've really screwed me over here. Am I the asshole for not wanting a relationship with them? No, because they screwed you over by telling you to go to your first choice when you said you couldn't afford it and you would have gone to your second choice and been able to afford it and like make it work. And then they're not even gonna write a letter for you that they cut you off so you can get a little more assistance. What are they trying to do? Make you homeless?
Why? And then they're like mad at you because you don't want to talk to them?
I'm not talking to them.
Write me a letter and I'll talk to you.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not asking you to pay, but at least help me.
exactly. But honestly, the fact that they did that in the first place, telling them that, oh yeah, sure, you can go to this and we'll pay for this and you just have to worry about paying for this. Like, he still is having some type of independence by having to have a job to pay for food and other bills. You're just paying for, like, which is great and very helpful, but the fact that you're just randomly going to tell 10 days before he has to move out, what? You're screwing your kid over. Why didn't you just say in the beginning, I'm sorry, we can't help you?
That's rude.
That's all you needed to do. Like, okay, there's an update. It says, I messaged them asking why they cut me off, saying the least they could do was explain why they're fine leaving me homeless. They responded, my friend, the one I'm staying with, is an out and proud lesbian. There are maybe 2 posts about me on her social media, one being a group shot of us and some people were studying in the library with me and her sat together, and another from a couple days before my birthday where she posted a photo of me when we went to lunch because we weren't planning on seeing each other on my actual birthday, and in the caption she refers to me as princess in a clearly joking way. My brothers then showed our parents and told them I was a lesbian and she was my girlfriend, so now I have proof that they cut me off, proof they're homophobic, and confirmation, and they can and will switch on me at the drop of a hat, as well as proof of my brothers who are older than me and living with our parents being jealous shitheads. They didn't just tell me this on the phone because they'd hoped that I'd figure it out, which is tricky given that it's not effing true. Apparently, there's enough affection still there for me to accept a call on mom's birthday. for them to expect a call on mom's birthday, but not enough to not totally fuck me over. So yeah, never talking to them again, any of them. I've sent the screenshots to the person I spoke to in emergency housing, though I've been warned that for something called emergency housing, it's not very fast. My friend has said I can stay with her as long as I need to. The reply my parents sent hasn't explicitly said this phrase, "we cut you off because," but given the context of them replying to my message, asking why it should be enough. Thanks, everyone. I felt really shitty cutting them off over finances, but now I know they're pure evil. I don't even feel bad. I've also sent my parents the screenshots of my brother confirming that he and my brother lied about me, and they've been very apologetic, but that doesn't change anything. As my brothers live with my parents, I hope they're all very happy together right now. New plan, changing the focus of my studies, going into the third year to focus on subjects I want to do, not the ones my parents wanted me to do. If I do this, I have a far better shot at getting work placement if it's far less popular than my current field of study, and if I get a work placement, I can spend my third year working full-time, earning a bit of cash, and then resume my studies the following year.
Resume.
And then resume my studies the following year. Failing this, and if I can't get any help from the university or student finance, then I will defer my third year and work full-time for a year. My friend says I can stay with her as long as I need, and has said I can't get emergency housing, but can sort out my placement or another job, and then we can get a place together next year, so I have confirmed a roommate. I no longer think I'm the asshole, so I'll probably be taking this down. So here's the thing. I might not be straight. I'm figuring it out, and I don't really have the capacity to go through it right now, but I've never really said anything to anyone at all ever because I knew my parents were homophobic. So my brothers may have thought they were lying, but they also may have been inadvertently correct. And I have to say, being correct by accident is very typical of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I agree that you're not the asshole.
yeah, you weren't even the asshole before, and now
No.
you're not the asshole even more because
Yeah.
clearly they're homophobic, which they can.
That's fucked up of your brothers to do that.
Yeah, what the hell?
That's crazy.
They also like to not even to just pull that out of their ass.
And make it up, yeah.
That's crazy. But there's a 15 days later
Mhm.
update. It says, recap on my first post. Okay, we're not reading that. So here's how everything has shaped up. I won't be getting emergency housing from uni. I've not heard anything, and there's less than a month left before summer, so I'd be shocked if I got it at this stage. I'm still living with my friend. She got me a job at her workplace but refuses to take any rent off me, so I've been repaying her by sneakily buying food and cooking her dinner as I get home before her. We have plans to move in together this summer, ready for next year. My parents have done a complete 180 and now want me to forgive them so badly that they're still refusing to sign a letter showing they've cut me off, so I'm still effed with student finance. My parents have also offered me my truck back, so me, my roommate, and 2 more friends will be going to my parents' house sometime soon to collect my truck and some things from my room. My tutor has written a letter for me for student finance, which they might accept, but I'm waiting to hear back. My course changes were approved, so now I'm doing what I want, not what my parents want, and it looks like I got my work placement, so I'll be either working and studying part-time for 2 years or working all next year and finishing studies the year after. Either way, I'll be adding an extra year to my course, but I get paid and get relevant experience in my field. Ultimately, everything seems to have worked out as well as it could. Thanks to everyone who commented because a lot of you had great advice and thought of stuff I didn't, and I was truly concerned that I was in the wrong, so thanks for the reassurance too. I will also be booking a session with the on-campus mental health professional because this has really shown a light on how effed up my family is. Thanks again.
Wow.
Okay, well, I'm glad everything worked out
Yeah.
as best as possible.
I'm sorry that your parents they want you to forgive them, but
They're so
they
toxic.
still won't write you the letter.
They're like being in like a toxic relationship
What the
with
hell?
someone, like coming back and being like, okay, fine, please forgive us, and then being
But
like,
we're not doing what you need us to.
but then also if you did decide to come out as gay, then they'd
Mhm.
probably cut you off again because they're homophobic. So it's like, just leave them be. And these are the types of parents that deserve to be no contact with their children, because if you have kids, like you're having kids with, you should have kids with the idea of that they could be anything.
Mhm.
They could end up being anything in the world that they
Right.
wanted to be. So if you can't accept that, then you shouldn't have kids,
Agreed.
because you can't control how your kid is born.
Right.
Like, so why are you gonna have kids if you can't be like accepting of who they're gonna grow up to be, because it could be anyone. Like, you can't shape and mold your kid. I mean,
You can try,
you
but it's not
can,
gonna work.
yeah, like they're gonna end up being who they want to be.
Right.
So that's why I never understand, like, don't have kids if you are gonna disown them for being gay or trans or something. Like, you have to just accept before you have kids that that's a possibility.
Right. And get over it.
But
Because you should just want
to have a
above
healthy
everything,
kid.
yeah, a healthy, happy kid. That's it.
Exactly.
There shouldn't be no other expectation.
And let them live their lives. Like, you can guide
Right.
them morally and teach them the values that, like, obviously
Mhm.
be a good person to other people, and that's all that should matter.
What else is
But
there to do,
unfortunately, that's not the case. And then it's people have to be in no contact with their parents because they fucking suck. So
Yeah, and that happens so much, I feel like.
I know. And it sucks because it's like such a hard decision to make, but
Yeah.
you can't stay close to people that don't accept you for who you are as a person, or who they think you are, even.
Right. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I found her past gross, even though I didn't want to tell her? So recently I found out my girlfriend has a colorful past. She was once a groupie and did a lot of group sex with the band. My personal thoughts: kind of gross to let yourself be a toy to a whole group just because they play music well. And kind of gross to make someone your toy and share them with the whole group. So yeah, I think the guys involved were gross too. And in case you're curious, no, I have never had group sex. I was never interested, and honestly, I think anything involving more than 5 people is straight up gross, regardless of gender. Now, I'm not going to break up with her over this. I get that it's in her past. Anyways, my girlfriend asked me what I was thinking in regards to the night I found out. I told her I hadn't thought about it, which is true, to be honest. At that point, I kind of forgot. She insisted on talking about, but I really didn't want to. She got upset and kept pressing me. I told her it's a really bad idea. I asked if she really wanted my honest opinion, and she said yeah, and well, she got upset. I told her that this was on her and that I'm not going to pretend that I don't find it gross.
I mean, she's the one who pressed you to tell.
Yeah.
She probably shouldn't have kept asking.
Mhm.
If you just said, "Oh, I didn't think about it," just let that be that, and then
Right. But also, like,
I don't think you should be judgmental about someone's past.
and some people enjoy that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if she's not like
she doesn't feel like a toy.
she's not. Yeah, she wanted to do
She
that.
wanted to. She wasn't.
You act like she was just like
forced to do that,
or like she
Was
did
in-
it just to get someone's approval, or like
yeah,
something, I don't know, like is in an insecure way. What if she just is confident and is sex
And wanted to
positive
do
and
it.
likes to have sex with multiple people?
and good for her.
Then you probably, I don't know, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get like feeling weird about finding out about the past of your partner.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Definitely.
you'd rather just not know and just be like, your past is your past, and whatever you did in your past, okay, let that be that. But like,
Right.
obviously when you find out stuff, like, you feel like, oh, I didn't want to know that. But
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, it's fine. Here's the update. So, me and my girlfriend had a long heart to heart and we made up. I told her I still loved her and that hasn't changed at all. She did confess she was afraid I was going to break up over this, but I assured her that I want to be with her and that she's the love of my life. She was relieved and we are okay now. So, yeah, everything turned out fine. I'll say a few things though. It feels like a lot of you really tore into my ass last time. I want to be clear on something. Just because I found it gross on all sides, men and women, doesn't mean I find it immoral. A lot of you were like, it's consensual, or she's a free woman, or something. Feels like a lot of you don't understand finding something gross. I mean, people shit on each other all the time. If I was into shit in my past, do you really think my girlfriend won't have some personal thoughts on it? Heck, I'm sure most of you would find it gross. Oh, and I'm never telling you all which band.
To compare it to being shit on is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Like, yeah, okay. Being shit on is gross.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's gross.
I mean, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to have sex with 5 people.
But
I don't necessarily. I mean, I get it's fine, whatever. You have an opinion, you can have your opinion. You don't have to think it's not gross. So whatever.
Right. I just don't know why people have. A lot of the times we talk about this all the time, but like, why did you post this?
Yeah, I know, it's so funny.
It's so interesting to me Because I would just talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
You got friends or no?
Probably not.
You got any friends?
I guess if I was like going through a situation
Yeah.
and like I've already exhausted all my friends about it and like I felt bad talking to them about it again,
Oh, if you're at that point.
then I would post on Reddit. Because sometimes when you're like
Yeah.
going through something and you just keep wanting to talk
Talking
about it
about it
and talk
all
about it and
day.
talk about it. Like
Yeah.
when I was going through a breakup, like I just wanted to talk about my breakup all the
But
time.
honestly, like most of the time when my friends are talking to me about that stuff, like I'm also mad and I want to talk about it too.
Yeah, same.
Like I would not care.
Me either.
If Jack and you broke up, I'd be like,
Yeah.
let's go beat his ass and do a bonfire and burn all his shit
I know,
and
same.
put a spell on him.
I also
Every day for the
would
rest
like
of our lives.
that. I like talking, except actually one of my friends like
That's
really overdid it. Like we would talk for hours on the phone about it every day, but it was like the same thing every time.
Yeah, I guess that's
And it was
true.
fine for a couple months, but then like
We gotta let it go.
but she also kept staying with him.
Right.
So that's another thing where it's like if you're going to
That's
keep
the
staying with
difference.
him and you're going to ask for my advice, like you might as well just go into like a white room with like sounding boards and talk to the wall
Yeah.
because that's basically what I am to you.
Exactly.
And then it's like that's a different scenario though where you just like don't really feel appreciated
Right.
because nothing you're saying back is like being taken into consideration. It's
That's
just
different.
they're talking at you with no.
Don't be doing that to me because I will start blocking your number.
Yeah, because like if you're gonna keep talking about a situation and you're not gonna take any of my advice, but you're gonna bring that situation up 20 more times, acting like I don't get why this happened, then listen to my advice,
Right.
girl.
What are you talking about?
Like, hello, I am trying to help.
Uh-huh.
The title of the next story is Am I the Asshole for Not Giving Some of My Wedding Budget to My Sister? My fiance Sarah and I are planning our wedding. We got engaged 2 weeks ago, so we are still not aware of how much it will cost, but we have a budget of about a little over $100K.
What the?
Sarah wants the best of everything and won't settle for anything cheap. We also would like to go on a month-long honeymoon to France, Italy, Greece, and Portugal. As I said, we are not aware of how expensive it will be, but we won't be getting married for at least 2 years, so I can save more if needed. My family asked us about our plans and weren't happy to hear it. My mom called it wasteful and said we could use the money for something better. I asked, like what? And she said, like helping your sister. My sister's husband recently left her with 3 kids and won't pay child support, so she's struggling, and I understand this, and I'm sorry she's going through this. I try to help her sometimes by taking the kids out for dinner or something like that, but apparently it's not enough. I've already told Sarah about her budget, and she is so excited to plan our dream wedding, so I don't think it's fair to tell her it's no longer possible. My family thinks I'm an asshole.
I do too.
You do?
I don't think he should give his money to his sister, but I think you should not have that much of a fucking budget for your wedding. That's crazy.
I do agree that's crazy. At the same time, I do feel like if you have the money to spend on that and you want to do that with your wedding, like, okay, I wouldn't spend that much on my wedding.
I just think like there are ways to do it that are more sustainable. Like in my head, if you're spending $100,000 on a wedding, it's all gonna be in a garbage pail by the end. Like you're getting so much of this useless shit that nobody fucking wants. A coaster with your name on it. Nobody wants a damn koozie with your name on it. Like
or
nobody
they could just
cares.
be having like an even more expensive venue or like a more expensive like.
True. But there's still so much like little like things that you have to get yourself, like candlesticks and like all this shit that's so expensive that's just gonna end up in a landfill because you got it on Amazon or you got it off like a bulk wholesale website that you don't need to buy 55 brand new candelabras for the centerpiece. Go to the thrift store.
But honestly, like if you have like a wedding planner or like say you have your wedding at the Breakers, like that's gonna be $100,000.
That's true.
Just to have it at this wedding venue.
And they keep saying we are not aware of how much it will cost. Become aware because as soon as you say you have a budget of $100,000 and you're going to these places, they are going to fucking hook, line, and sinker you with more money.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, I always said my budget was, like, $5,000 for everything. I was like, $5,000 is all I got.
Yeah, that's going to be me. I'm not paying nothing to have a wedding. I'm gonna have it right here in this podcast studio. Till death do us part.
Right in this hallway could be your aisle to the
Yeah,
toilet.
literally. I mean, I think that, like, whatever. It's
He
your
doesn't-
decision what
yeah.
you want to spend your
Right,
money on.
it is.
If it were me, I would be spending $100, and I would also be helping my sister. But you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to have enough money to help my family
right.
in a bad situation. But not everyone cares that much. So clearly this guy doesn't.
Yeah.
He cares more about the dream wedding.
The thing is that I don't like his fiance
I don't either.
already.
She's so materialistic.
Sarah wants the best of everything and won't settle for anything cheap. Okay, Sarah needs to grow up.
Yeah, grow the fuck up.
I feel like they voted for Trump.
They definitely did. If my fiance told me our budget's 100,000 or over
I'd be like,
100,000,
no.
I'd be like, give me 70,000 then right now.
Yeah, honestly.
And I'll take it and save it, or fucking, I don't know, book 17 vacations for us in the next 20 years.
Every time yesterday, Matt was like, we've already spent X amount of money on all the deposits. And I was like, oh, should we cancel? Like, that's crazy.
It's actually so funny. Okay, there's a 6 day later update. It's small, but it says, so my parents have decided not to attend my wedding. They think it's wasteful and they won't support it. My fiance went no contact with her own family years ago, so if none of our parents are going to attend, then what is the point of throwing a wedding? She's very upset. I told her that it's okay. If no one wants to support us, then we'll elope. We're going to use our wedding budget for our honeymoon as well. This seemed to cheer her up, and she has been busy replanning our honeymoon. I told my parents that the wedding is canceled, and they told me I made the right decision and asked if I can help my sister now. I said no. They ruined my wedding plans, so from now on, they can't expect anything from me. I will prioritize myself, because apparently no one else will. Okay, stop trying to force him to give money to his sister, though.
Why don't you guys help his sister? Like, what are you talking about?
And also, like, we're just seeing, like, a snapshot of it. We don't know how his sister actually is. What if his sister is, like, super crazy and, like, they don't get along? Or, like, we don't know how they grew up. We don't know their relationship.
Right.
And we don't know any of those details. All we know is that his sister got divorced and is struggling because they won't pay child support. But, like,
yeah. And
there's some circumstances where I wouldn't give my sister money if, like, maybe she was spending it on all the wrong stuff, or she was just, like, I don't know. If she was really irresponsible with finances, would I want to help her? No, because I would want her to get her shit together. Like, there's so many different circumstances where it could just be, like, I don't know. He's not listing anything, so I don't really know any details. But them trying to force him to give her money is not going to do anything.
It's so annoying that his parents, like, seem to only care about the sister. Which is kind of refreshing.
Why?
As a sister. Just kidding.
That's
not really.
So funny. Some of the comments, someone said, so I gather that your sister is the golden child then. Absolutely not the asshole. Enjoy eloping, and I hope you have a fantastic honeymoon. The sister is the child in shit currently with 3 kids and an absent father that doesn't pay child support. It's not about golden BS. It's simply that one of their children is currently suffering, including 3 grandchildren, and they asked their other child to help. The other child has more than the means to help. The other child has $100K to throw away on a wedding. The type of person that helps their sibling versus the type of person that would prefer to instead to spend the money on a party. I mean, yeah, if I look at it from the parents' perspective, would I be like, the fact that you're going to spend that much on a wedding when your sister's over here struggling to, like, pay bills?
Yeah.
I would be upset.
The thing is, too, though, like, when you have a budget for something, that doesn't mean you have all of that money sitting there ready to go. Like, because you're not paying for it all at once. Like, you're not like, I'm going to plan a wedding. Here's $100,000.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you could do that. But usually you're like, I'm going to book a venue, deposit. I'm going to book a DJ, deposit. Like, it's spread out depending on how long you're planning your wedding over, like, a year. So,
and they're not getting married for 2 years.
Right. So, 100,000, like, isn't really, I mean, it's crazy. But, like, coming from someone who's planning a wedding and I thought I could do it for, like, 20,000, 100,000 is not that far off.
Wait, this person said OP has commented elsewhere that they've already given their sister $7K in the past 6 months.
He should have included that in the.
He should have included that because that makes a big difference for me. That makes a big difference for me. $7,000 is a lot. that you're just getting handed to you. I would
Something's
love
going
for my
on.
brother to give me $7,000.
Something's going on there with the sister.
For sure.
Because
I feel like maybe she might be taking advantage of something.
it
a little.
almost, this is giving me the vibe that, like, this person is, like, the smart one of the family and, like, got a good job, like, went to college, got a good degree, and got a good paying job. And, like, everyone
Now
kind of
everyone's
saw
using it
that
against
as
him.
their ticket
Mm-hmm.
out of their situations, which, like, is not a great mindset to have. And it's not fair to that person. While they should want to help you,
They don't have to.
they don't have to do anything, especially if you're not gonna be, like, appreciative
And
of
he
it.
shouldn't be punished for being the smart one and being
Right.
able to get a good
That
job
pressure
and being
shouldn't be
able
on
to
him.
like make a life for himself.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. There's a lot of details missing here that could change because even just that $7K that completely changed it for me.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so why are your parents mad then? Because you are helping. It's not like you never helped her one time.
Right. That comes back to the whole thing. Like, he doesn't just have $100K sitting in the bank, and even if he did, like, it's probably invested in something, and you can't just pull all that. Like, he's not gonna give his sister $100K just because he decided with his money to plan a wedding with that much money. And I think that was including the honeymoon, so it's really not that crazy.
Yeah, it
of
was
a budget.
including a honeymoon to 4 different
For a
international
month?
places for a month. It's gonna be $100K.
That's gonna be $100K by itself. So
You're gonna have $2,000 left over.
yeah.
So that's crazy.
But Sarah seems like a bitch.
She does.
Sorry, Sarah.
She
but
does.
It's okay.
I would love to hear more details of the family situation dynamic.
I know, me
But
too. Okay, next one. Title is, My daughter's dance teacher invited her to a sleepover at her house. Would I be the asshole for formally complaining? My daughter is 7. She's been taking ballet lessons since she was 4, but has only been enrolled in this particular dance school for about a year. There are only 6 other girls in her class all around her age, and she has 2 lessons a week. Anyway, earlier this week, my daughter came home with an invitation from her teacher. She's inviting the girls, all 7 of them, to spend the night at her house on the last weekend of April. According to my daughter, the teacher told the girls that it's a slumber party. The pitch already included McDonald's, movies, and games. I've spoken to the other moms, and they've all confirmed that their daughters got the same invitation. None of us have been notified by the school, so I assume the teacher is planning this on her own. She has not spoken to any of us about this directly, only to our daughters. Some of the girls seem to be excited, but my daughter is still anxious about spending the night away from us, so she wouldn't be going even if I was okay with this, which I'm not. I have never spoken to this teacher about anything besides my child, nor do I know anything about her personal life or home. I've been thinking of complaining to the dance school about this because I've never heard of teachers doing this before, and I'm a little freaked out. But at least 2 of the other moms don't seem to have a problem with it, and I can't help but wonder whether I'm overreacting. Is this normal? Honestly, I just need some advice here.
it's weird that she only talked to the daughters about it, to me. First, you talk to the parents, and then once you get their confirmation that it's okay, you talk to the daughters and say, we're going to have a sleepover. I'm not really sure.
It should be at the studio, though.
Yeah.
I fear.
It should, because who knows what's at your house? Another man? Like,
right.
Who's there?
Who has a key?
What's there?
Even if there ain't a man there, he could come in.
We don't know what's that home life is like.
I'm concerned that there's 2 other moms that were like, sure, go sleep over there.
I know.
But maybe they talk to the teacher more.
Or maybe they're like more friends with her or something. When I was growing up, I had like a youth group that I went to, and there would be times where we'd have sleepovers at like the youth groups, like the leader's house, which I don't know.
Girl, I'm scared of that.
Like, we would do sleepovers and like things at the church, like in the gym and stuff, which is fine. But then I'm like, we went to their house too, which is kind of weird to think about. I mean, nothing happened, thank God, but like,
but still,
that's kind of weird. Also,
imagine
like, why do you want
our age and having children over?
Why do I want a bunch of little kids sleeping at my house?
Boo.
No,
I don't even want a little kid near me that I don't know like that.
Like, no thanks. I don't want that.
That's weird.
It is weird. It's also just weird to not talk to the parents before.
Right.
To just say...
To invite the 7-year-olds.
Like, what are you trying to plan it behind their backs and then have, like...
What, they're going to take an Uber or something?
Kidnap?
How are they getting there?
Like, what's happening? I don't know. That's scary to me.
Okay, there's an update. Thank you all for your input. A lot has happened, but I'll try to keep this short. I won't waste time and try to convince anyone to like me. If you've already decided I'm a true crime obsessed neurotic helicopter parent, Karen with diaper energy and social anxiety issues, I don't think there's much I can say that will change your mind. And yes, I've heard of lock-ins. My son had one with his swim team last year. He's a bit older. It happened at the pool. Guardians were informed before the children were, and one of the other parents chaperoned. It's not the same thing as an unofficial sleepover at a teacher's house. All of that said, I never intended to risk this woman's job. I was just worried. So I spoke to my husband and we decided to take your advice and speak to my daughter's teacher first. He spoke to her while picking up our daughter last week. He said the conversation went fine, but he was bothered by her reaction when he said our daughter wouldn't attend. He told the teacher our kid was anxious, but she replied that the sleepover would be a great opportunity for her to come out of her shell and that we should try to encourage our daughter to come. During the conversation, my husband also found out the following. She came up with the sleepover idea because she wanted to bond with the girls and figured it would be fun. She didn't ask for another parent to act as a chaperone because her husband had offered to help her. First time she ever mentioned his existence. When asked about what she'd do in case of emergency, she just stated that she lived about 10 minutes away from a hospital. She didn't ask for the parents' contact information because she didn't think of it. After he told me all this, I decided to email the dance school. I wrote that the teacher was planning a sleepover about which the parents had not received a lot of information. 2 days later, we got an email from the teacher stating she was canceling the sleepover due to a complaint from the dance school. She also apologized for not being more transparent with us. Some of the other moms are planning another sleepover at one of their houses so that the girls won't be upset. Not sure where or when it will happen yet, but I'm trying to keep up to date. Ultimately, even though I still don't know what the sleepover would have been like, I don't regret this. When it comes to my children, I'd rather be paranoid and wrong than regretful and right. If I complained and it turned out to be a completely innocent event, I'd feel embarrassed even after apologizing, but it might be something I could laugh about someday. If I let my daughter go and something happened to her or any of the other girls, I would never forgive myself. I agree.
Oh my God, weird.
I agree with that. What you did was right. For sure.
I mean, I don't know if this girl is just extremely like dense and she doesn't know or think about like your husband offered. Okay, maybe you know your husband and you think that it's like safe or whatever,
right.
but you
I
think
don't
that
think she's thinking like a parent because she
isn't a
probably
parent.
isn't one.
Yeah.
So she's probably like, well, I just like wanted to bond and like hang out with them. Like I'm completely
Yeah, and
innocent,
my
which like
husband's gonna
is
help.
probably true. And I'm sure everything would have been fine because she works out of school with children. Like they probably do checks. I don't. Shit happens all the time, so I'm definitely wrong
Yeah,
about
you
that.
can never be too safe.
But she just did not do it in the appropriate way.
At all.
Not even a little bit close.
Mm-mm. Like,
I'm glad this girl emailed the school.
same. I'm so scared of that. Her husband had offered to help her. Because I don't know your husband. Your husband could be the nicest person ever, I'm sure, okay? But when I think of your husband offered to help her with a sleepover with a bunch of girls, that makes me think immediately, no. Mm-hmm. Immediately, he's gross weirdo. That's what that makes me think. Even though he might like, not be.
I don't understand why she didn't like go to the school and say like, I want to plan something with my class. Can we have a sleepover here?
I don't understand
that
either.
Would be fun.
Yeah,
that would be fine. Have a parent chaperone. It would be a cute day.
Yeah, lock-ins used to be so fun. We used to do those at my church all the time.
But having kids over to your house is not the vibe.
Mm-mm.
Especially not asking the parents about it first. That's just fucked up.
That's like the biggest thing. It's like you're going to get all the kids to be excited about it. You don't even know if their parents are going to say yes.
Right. That's literally like asking a kid, like, do you want chocolate? And then the parents, like, they can't have it.
They're allergic.
I guess you already got to give it to her.
Like, do you want this with peanuts in it?
Right.
Yeah, I do. And then they die of anaphylactic shock. Like,
yeah, I do.
Like, yeah, yummy, gimme. I mean, that's just crazy. You gotta ask for permission from parents. You're not their parent. Like, you're their dance teacher, girl. That's crazy.
That's not good.
All right. Well, that's the end of that episode. Those are all the stories we had for you guys today. So let us know what you thought about those. Give us your opinions.
Please.
And we'll talk to you in the next episode. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.